The Boks have gone bok to bok. The Boks keep winning. The All Blacks keep explaining. The Wallabies keep rebuilding, mostly their egos. You're listening to Cut the Cuck, the only show where the post-match hangovers last longer than the Wallabies rebuilding.
That's Chad. I'm Byron. Welcome to Cut the Cuck. Chad, we did it. Well,
We did it.
They did it. We got to watch them do it, so we did it.
I'm pretty sure that Rusty and the boys have been watching.
I'm gonna probably say no, but I'm glad you have. I'm very glad you have such high hopes of the show.
Just think about it. Like we. I'm going to say we, even though it was you. We called almost week for week. You said,
yeah. It was the Australians that wrecked us. If the Australians were any better at rugby, we would have got all of our predictions correct. Unfortunately, they couldn't pull it together.
Yeah, well, we got the first round wrong where we lost, but
I mean, it all worked out. A little sketchy at the end.
Yeah,
got a little hairy there, thanks to Colby's second assist 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah,
but we still pulled it off.
Yeah, shame. When I was watching that, I was like, "What the fuck?"
So I had a busy weekend. I didn't get to watch the games as much as I would have liked to, or at least not in the environment I would have liked to watch the games in. But I remember seeing that try at the near it was like the 68th minute where Colby gave that long ball that bounced and landed up being the Argentinian try, and I just thought to myself, can't happen like this. Like we can't gift it to New Zealand like this. Like this is, come on now. I mean, it all worked out okay, but good game. I don't know. Did you want to start with the Aussie game first and then talk about the Springbok game?
Yeah, we can. I feel like there's not that much to talk about in that game.
There isn't much, is there? The Australia missed some important tackles.
Yeah.
Gave away silly penalties. I thought the refereeing was pretty good.
Yep.
Maybe the best of the tournament, barring that game that I said had the best refereeing until the 76th minute. But everything else was really, really good. But yeah, I don't know. There wasn't much to talk about that game. Australia, I don't think, put on their best performance. I was expecting more from them.
Yeah. It was. I mean, they lost a couple of players. They lost Will Skelton again after he'd just come back, and he was having felt like both like making a physical presence, but also like being in everyone's face and just pissing the Kiwis off.
Yeah. I also think that they missed a beat having O'Connor at 10. He looked so good last week or the week before. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I guess they're rebuilding again, aren't they? Just another how many more years they want to rebuild for, but let them rebuild.
Yeah, they'll keep. And there's no Rugby Championship next year, so I don't know who they're going to play against next year and rebuild against.
I still think that's cooked.
Look, yeah. I'm with you on that one, but I'm also keen to see New Zealand play us in New Zealand. I mean, in South Africa.
3 games in a row. The logical thing would be for Argentina to do a tour of Australia or Australia to do of Argentina.
Yeah, but yeah, true, maybe.
I would still prefer the Rugby Championship, though. I get.
Oh no, especially one after we just had. It was the best one we've had in.
What an exciting competition! Maybe it's World Rugby's way to prevent us from winning back-to-back Rugby Championships. So just don't fucking have the competition. Because you can't win it.
Yeah, that's it. Anything to stop us from winning trophies.
What is the thing I saw online? It's back-to-back British and Irish Lions Tour champions, back-to-back Rugby World Cup champions, back-to-back Rugby Championship champions.
Jesus, are we back-to-back Lions? I thought we lost.
That's what I saw on Instagram.
Yeah.
That had to be true. If I read it online, it has to be true.
100%. Okay. I won't argue.
And then there's all the other small trophies in between, the Nelson Mandela Cup, the blah 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 blah. But like those would be the big ones. Those are the ones that we partake in. Yeah, what a time to be a Springbok fan.
I know. I think we might. I hope I'm not taking it for granted though, because I don't want to be here in 2 years when the Rugby World Cup's on and we're like, fuck, Byron, where did it all go wrong?
Remember back in 2025 when we were talking about how good the Springboks were?
Yeah.
Now, I see it, I think it's going to get slightly better still. If you look at the young talent coming through, and then obviously the Curry Cup just finished, which was fantastic. And I think we'll talk about it a little later, but the URC, I don't think the South African teams are necessarily getting the best results yet in the first two rounds of the URC. But the talent, especially amongst the forwards, is ridiculous.
Yeah, I do want to touch on that. Speaking of the forwards, how dominant was the Springbok scrum against the poor Argentinians?
There was that scrum where Peter Steph Toy played scrum half.
He played scrum. We only scrummed them with 7 people and then still scrummed them over their own ball.
That was wild.
When I saw that, I thought that someone was injured, and I was like, "How? No!" And I was like, "What the fuck's going on here?" And then 7 people, and I was like, "Oh, they obviously just putting Peter Steph out there to hit a really rush defense or something." And then they were just went like they were scrumming against an under 16 side.
Ox and chair. That's what that was. If you can only have you can only be brave enough to scrum with 7 if you've got ox and chair as one of the props.
Yeah, fuck. it was unfair. Like I think we only lost 1 scrum or something like that.
It was wild. It was, and then I know we're not talking about it yet, but the South African teams in the URC also had ridiculous scrum domination. The was it the Stormers game was the first game of the weekend? Yeah, Stormers Ospreys. Oh my goodness. It was penalty after penalty after penalty. Whether it was a Stormers scrum or an Osprey scrum, it was a Stormers penalty. It was ridiculous.
I don't know what's going on at the moment with our scrums, but I'm loving it.
Well, you only need a few of the URC forwards to have done at least one Springbok alignment camp, and they can take all of that scrumming knowledge and bring it back to the club level. And I think we're watching it play out now. Like I said, the South African teams didn't get the best results. We had the Stormers getting a win and the Bulls getting a win. Sharks got a draw, and then the Lions lost again in the last minute of the game. Shocker. But even their scrums were dominant. And I'm just like, even without the results, why would all the South African teams are dominating in the scrums in the URC? It's quite fascinating to watch.
Yeah, can't believe the Sharks drew, dude.
Also, they should have lost because he was in the pocket for the drop goal. And
I know. I don't know why they didn't hit the drop goal. But
and then they try the 50-50 long pass instead.
Yeah.
Insane. They didn't need the try. They could have just taken the 3 and it would have been over. Anyways, I'm glad I wasn't part of that. I did want to ask you something from the South Africa-Argentina game. Kane Moody's first yellow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No.
What's your when I first saw it, I thought red. 20-minute red card. That's what I thought. I thought 20-minute red card. Because I think if I'm not mistaken, the mitigating factor was that there was the last minute change of direction from the Argentinian play, and that's what caused it to go from a red to a yellow. I'll agree with that. I'll take that. There was a last minute change, but Moody had no drop in height.
If you look at where he hit his head, Moody hit his head. Yeah.
That would be the same as the maybe even less egregious or more egregious than the red card for Sam Cane in the final. Last minute change of direction, head to head contact, they gave him a red. Not a 20-minute red wasn't a thing back then. It was a straight red. I feel like this was the same sort of situation. So if Moody had gotten a red, I don't think there would have been much room for argument.
Well, I thought it was the complete opposite, and I thought it was a really soft yellow.
Okay, go on, tell me more.
I thought it was just I don't know about you, Byron, but I've never thought, you know what, I'm going to fucking tackle this guy with my face.
No.
It's a rugby incident. I don't know any person on earth that's been like, you know what, I got this. I'm going to go straight with my pecker into this
I'm
oak's
not gonna,
forehead.
I'm not going to use my arms and my shoulders to bring him down. Let's
No,
see how my forehead does.
yeah, nobody does it
No,
on purpose. And Moody almost came off worse for wear in that exchange.
yeah. Look, it is. I'm not saying it was intentional, but it is the tackler's job to get low, make contact with his shoulders, and wrap.
Yeah.
Moody did none of those things. He did wrap, but it was
because he
after he
had
used
someone
his
else's
forehead.
forehead in his nose. Yeah,
Okay,
it's
so
tough.
regardless, they decided on a yellow. It is what it is. Then there's the later on in the game, there was the knockdown when he was going for the intercept. Would you have given that a yellow?
No, it was way too far. It was too far away from the try line to think about it.
Okay, so it wasn't a try scoring opportunity.
Yeah.
You're happy for it just to be a penalty.
Yeah. You?
I agree, just based on the distance. I also don't think. I know this rule doesn't really count anymore, but he did have the intention to catch. It wasn't a slap down.
Yeah, both his arms were.
Yeah. He was going for the intercept. He just needed Snyman's arms.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would have changed the game drastically if Moody had gotten a red in the first one or that second incident. So he was walking quite the tightrope. I did have a few more points on the Springbok game that I wanted to get you all. Maybe they're not really talking points, but for Malcolm Marx's try off the maul, I thought Reinach had such an important part to play because he came in and snuck between him and the try line, and I think he kept him in. I think if Reinach wasn't there, he would have been pushed out.
100%. I thought exactly the same thing. I was like, that's the proper try assist to Reinach, pushing him back in and keeping him in the tram lines. Yeah.
Proper. That was brilliant. Great for him to see that. And then the other one that I wanted to talk of was Reinach's second try. Did you? I don't know. I don't know if you've seen it. Snyman gets the ball, drives, drops down. As the ruck is forming, you just see this hand pop up and go like this, and Snyman offloaded off the floor during a ruck to give the ball for the second try.
I'm gonna have to rewatch it.
A back of the hand from the floor offload from Snyman. Incredible. Yeah, definitely watch it again. It's worth watching.
I'm gonna go look out for it because even though I haven't seen it, I actually believe it because it's Snyman and he's.
You just see all these bodies coming together, and then an arm that would probably be the same height as I am just throws the ball like this. It's really good. I already told you about. We already spoke about Colby's second assist. The other one that I wanted to talk on wasn't in the Springbok game. It was the Australia-New Zealand game. The header from Barrett to score the try. Now, in sevens, Argentina did it against the Blitzboks, where they headed a bouncing ball off the field and that ended the game. And now there's been, I think, another one big incident, and now again. Shouldn't the head also be a knock-on?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because knock-on is obviously you drop it, the ball goes forward. But if it bounces off your chest, it goes forward, it's a knock-on. If you drop it, and in the act of dropping, you kick it, it's still a knock-on because you didn't show control from the ball being in your hand to the ball being on your foot. So why is the head all of a sudden a part of your body that can't knock the ball? You can't catch it with your head. So I know Kane and Moody's trying to tackle with his head, but shouldn't the head be a knock-on? I can't see why it shouldn't be.
It's a great question for any of the rugby purists out there that can tell us why it's not.
Otherwise,
I don't know.
Otherwise, Oak should start passing the ball backwards, and like the first receiver just
punches
hits it
through.
straight. Like I don't know. It just seems like a silly loophole that maybe hasn't been attended to yet because it doesn't happen that often.
Yeah.
But it seems to be happening more and more frequently.
But that was just an absolute. I mean, old man who scored. Who was it that scored?
I think it was at 13, no?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of his name. Yeah,
He's just
13 All
scored the
Blacks.
last try. No, never mind. I'm thinking of someone else.
For him to commit and be there in that supporting line, fantastic, great. Like
yeah, I mean he's doing what he should be doing.
Yeah, but yeah, the header knock on scenario, I agree with you. It's really weird.
It has to.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, "There's no ways." I was like, "That's a knock on." They should have just called that straight then and there. But yeah, didn't touch it. Hit him straight on the noggin, and
which has to be a knock on. It doesn't make sense. The ball never goes forward in rugby unless it comes off your foot. Now all of a sudden the head is okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what it will take for World Rugby to change the knock-on rule with the head?
Springboks to win a rugby
for South Africa to beat somebody with a headed try.
Yeah, like in the line.
Russ is going to implement it in the November internationals, and
Yeah.
then by the time season starts in 2026, the headers will no longer be allowed in rugby.
No, it was straight yellow card.
Yeah. Because they can't, otherwise, if you head it and it's a scrum down to the opposition side, they won't allow that because then they'll say Springboks are getting the upper hand because they're giving the ball to the opposition to scrum for a penalty.
Yeah, with Peter Steff watching from the back.
Yeah, we're just going to scrum with less and less people and have a bigger backline for every scrum.
Yeah. It'll just be like, it'll be Ox, Malcolm Ox, and Vulko Low. And then everyone else will just be.
And then, what's her name at Eighthman just to control the ball at the back of the scrum.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, we did it. We're champions.
Back to back.
So cool. Back to back, first time ever.
Yeah.
That I think is really cool. To have a first time.
I saw a thing about all the trophies and stuff that Sears won since being captain, and Peter Steff did toy, and also very similar, but he's got the Rugby World Player of the Year trophies too, so he's not a bad oak to have on your side.
No, and I think his club team must be fuming because he's coming on 2 years after playing for his club. And he's just winning and winning. And the club's probably like, when are you going to do this for us?
Yeah, it must be rough being a club like that, paying decent cash and just...
And it's not as if he's not doing anything. You're watching him week in and week out playing international rugby.
Yeah, surely when he comes back, they like, boys, come on. Because it actually won't even be that long because we've only got, 3.5 weeks, then we're back playing Japan.
Wow. It's already October and the November friendlies are around the corner.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise. It is going to be exciting. I saw we are technically getting the winners of the Rugby Championship versus the winners of the Six Nations.
Yeah.
There's a lot to play for in terms of... For like the international debate, Northern Hemisphere versus Southern Hemisphere thing. Pretty big game. Although, if you look at it, there can't really be much of a debate. Just look at the number of teams that have won the Rugby World Cup. Only one Northern Hemisphere team has done it once. The rest of it's been dominated by New Zealand, Australia, and South Africa.
Well, we are the best, number one in the world, undisputed.
Yeah, there's no argument there now. There's no Irish team taking top spot by not playing.
No, and winning World Cups either. They just professional semi-makers.
When they make it past the knockout stage. Actually, they probably will in the next World Cup because there's a round of 16 instead of going straight to the quarterfinals. Because they've added all the extra teams for this Rugby World Cup. Which means most likely... Oh, go ahead.
I want to speak about that. That's going to be exciting to find out because that's happening the 3rd of December, I think.
Yeah, the draw.
They do those draws. Yeah, we find out who we're playing. Who do you reckon is going to be? Do you want to make a really early prediction about who's going to be in our pool? Let's just see. What are the pools?
Well, before, I don't even know what the options are. But what I wanted to say on that was it's most likely, because Ireland are a good side, no matter how much shit we give them, that they'll be top of their group going into the round of 16, which means that they'll probably win their first knockout game because they won't get a top side. They'll probably get like one of those third place runner-up teams, which would almost guarantee them a win in the round of 16. But then puts them back into the quarterfinals where they might be subject to the same curse. So they'll win a knockout game, but they still won't win a quarterfinal.
Yeah, I'm all for it, actually. And
And
then
then
you know
if
what will
I'm honest,
happen?
what happened?
2028 will come around, and they'll
Yeah.
somehow be number one, ranked number one
Yeah.
in the world at
Well,
some point.
they'll go on
So-
another winning streak and they'll beat everyone that they play. Maybe not this tour, but I'm talking about closer to the World Cup. They'll go on a winning streak. They'll beat everybody they play. They'll have a great side. They'll show up to the World Cup, dominate the group stages. But then they'll come up against a team that just knows how to win at the World Cup. And
Yeah,
that
it'll be any one of the Southern Hemisphere teams.
knocked out by Argentina, knocked out by Australia. Oof. Oof.
Okay, Australia might be a bit of a toughie, but
Chad, they're
Argentina,
rebuilding.
I can see. Yeah,
Chad, they're
but
rebuilding.
Byron, they've been rebuilding, and do you know what? You know why I'm a bit salty about them is because I thought they would have won one of the New Zealand versus Australia games, and they didn't.
So
do
did
it.
I.
So
I'm
I'm
very
upset
salty.
with them.
I'm upset with them.
Yeah, not mad. I'm not upset. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Very disappointed.
Yeah. So yeah, for all the Aussies watching the show, that's why. That's why I'm giving them so much shit because
So we expected
Upset
better
with
from you because you gave us higher hopes.
yeah.
We're trying to hold you to a higher standard, and you just didn't show up when you needed to.
Yeah. I do feel bad for Argentina, given that they showed so much promise too in the beginning of it and then kind of just slowly faded away.
Yeah, I mean, look, they did beat New Zealand. They did beat Australia. The problem was their final two games were against the Springboks.
Yeah. I have just asked old ChatGPT to give us what its predictions are for the pools.
Mm-hmm.
For the Rugby World Cup. Do you want to hear what's the
I mean, it
prediction
means
are?
nothing to me, but let's hear it.
Pool A will be England, Australia, Japan, Hong Kong, China. I don't know if that's a 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Hong Kong, China is one. ChatGPT's on
Yeah,
mute, so that's fine.
I don't even know if they're allowed to play one another.
Yeah. Let's say that they're one team.
Oh, okay, wait, that
Pool
makes
B.
more sense. Okay, go on,
Yeah.
that makes more sense.
And then Pool B will be South Africa, Wales, Portugal, Canada. Pool C will be New Zealand, Scotland, Tonga, Spain. Pool D, Ireland, Georgia, Uruguay, Romania. Pool is Zimbabwe in the Rugby World Cup?
Yeah, they
They
qualified.
make it?
Yeah.
Man, that's fucking so sick. Pool E is France, Fiji, United States, and Zimbabwe. I will absolutely go support Zimbabwe.
Oh, 100%.
And then Pool F is Argentina, Italy, Chile, and potentially Samoa. There's a little asterisk.
Okay, so listening to that, because I actually haven't looked at what the draw looks like, nor what the groups look like. I just know that there's more teams and there's a round of 16. But if that's the case, the top teams are already decided in each group. There's no scary group curiosity about who might or who might not make it, at least for the top spot. The rest of them might be a little bit more difficult to decide. The top teams
So
are
how does it work?
guaranteed.
So it's the top two from each team? From
Top
each
two from
pool?
each group, and then I think the top two highest point earning third team makes it through to the round of 16.
Yeah, you
Or
can really
top
see, like,
four
just looking
third
at what's
place or
going to
something like
be England, Australia, South Africa, Wales, maybe.
that. Okay, Wales have finally gotten rid of that losing streak. They're going to go on a 16-game winning streek.
Okay.
Okay, even I don't believe saying that out loud.
No, that's the worst. You
You know what
said
we're
some
going to
dumb
do?
shit, but that's the.
We're going to change these last Welsh lads.
No, you have to, I'll tell you what, you have to keep them red until they win again.
Never. It's going to look like the red light district in this house for the rest of my life.
Yeah, you have oaks knocking on your door.
I have knock. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, New Zealand, Scotland, Ireland, probably Uruguay or Romania.
I don't know. I'm losing you now.
Anyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. You can see who's going to make it through. It's basically.
Yeah, all the top teams will make the round of. It's good for rugby as a whole to have this extra knockout game, but it's not going to change who's going to make it through to the quarterfinals. You know what I mean? So like, it's better exposure for your tier 2 and 3 nations to get more rugby time and experience, but it's not going to prevent the top teams from making it to the quarterfinals.
But like, speaking of that, like, it's great. Like, what I understand that good for the game, whatever. But in a Rugby World Cup, it almost waters down the Rugby World Cup. If you know what I mean. Like, you're not going to get you're going to get these massive games, like when New Zealand play against Spain. It's going to be a cricket score.
Well, yeah, but also you've got to think that if you want there to be more teams competing in the World Cup eventually at a higher level, Spain, for example, is never going to get good enough to play against New Zealand unless they're exposed to these top tier teams on a more regular basis. Because if you've only got Spain playing against like the Netherlands, Belgium, Germany, like that level of rugby is just not high enough to compete against the better teams. And it's going to be a slow build. You saw it in sevens, for example, where you would never normally talk about Spain as a rugby nation. But in sevens, every now and then, they have a fantastic performance. They'll come out and they'll beat. I think they beat New Zealand in this last series. So it does water it down in terms of like quality, but it's also the only way to get these tier 2 and 3 nations the exposure they need to become competitive at a higher level. So it is necessary, but I understand where you're coming from, where it's like, well, watching New Zealand play China, Hong Kong is going to be very, very difficult to watch because it's going to be so one-sided. But also, it will always be one-sided unless these games happen more often.
Yeah, but you're not going to get much better if you're only playing New Zealand every 4 years, because then your whole.
Well, no, but that's what there's that whole push now to have like a tier 2 and 3 version of the Rugby Championship or the Six Nations, where you'll have. I know they had it this year. They called it the European Championship or something like that. That was ongoing at the same time as the Six Nations. And I think that was Georgia, Netherlands, Belgium, Switzerland, and Romania, I believe, something like that. I think there were 4, 5, 6 teams in there. Germany was the other one, so 6 teams. I think there's going to be a lot more of those competitions. Obviously, Georgia dominated that whole competition because they're definitely the best amongst those nations. But it's important as well because you also want to get Portugal playing more often. You want to get Spain playing more often. So like a tier 2 version of the Six Nations would be awesome. And then a tier 3 version of that would also be really, really cool. And you got to do the same thing in Asia. The problem would be that like the Pacific Island nations, it would be difficult for them to do a competition because all of their really good players are playing in the top 14 or in the Premiership. There's a few of them in the
New
URC.
Zealand.
And then,
Yeah.
and then the rest of them were, so like, it's hard for them to put international competition together because their players are spread out amongst like worldwide. So how do you align a international competition when they're playing top 14 rugby, they're playing Premiership rugby, and then some of them are playing Super Rugby.
Yeah, but even like
But it
with
has
that,
to happen,
if they just, yeah, like I think if you're trying to get exposure to a tier 1 or tier 2 nation from anyone above you, like kind of what we did when we played in the beginning, we played Georgia for like our
Georgia and Italy, yeah.
preseason stuff. Yeah, World Rugby should like try and encourage those type of games to be played more often, even if it's just a preseason game, but more regular than every 4 years that you get absolutely humiliated in front of millions and millions of people.
Yeah, it's hard to have, let's think of Zimbabwe, for example. I don't remember them being in a Rugby World Cup. If they have before, it was way before I was watching rugby.
I didn't even know they still played rugby, mate.
And I can't imagine showing up. Well, I mean, you see it with Namibia in the previous years. Namibia shows up and then they've got to play against New Zealand.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a dream come true, I guess, as a player. You're like, oh, I've played against one of the best teams in the world, but also it's not going to be competitive. And there's going to be so many injuries. You saw it in the Namibia game. Oaks just got flatlined.
Yeah, and I snapped his leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was rough.
But it's also
that guy's
nice.
actually playing for a side here now. He's
really?
all healed up and he's playing for Hawke's
In
Bay.
that,
Watched
in
him
the
play on the
NPC.
weekend. It's pretty good.
Very nice. Very, very nice to see. I've got some other non-rugby sports stuff to talk about, if you got a second for me.
Do you want to quickly go over the URC? Because we've been, someone in the comments asked for the URC results.
Sure. So obviously we started off
about
with
the actual games.
What's that? Yeah, I didn't have the opportunity to sit down and watch each game in its entirety, but I did watch most of all of the games. So like I said, the Stormers' performance against the Ospreys was great. And I believe next week the Stormers will have the Springboks when they go on tour, because next week Stormers are playing Scarlets at the Scarlets, and I believe that the Springboks will be joining them. So Stasha, Mani. You already mentioned it. Your team, the Sharks, drew against the Dragons away from home. They should have lost.
It's so tough being a Sharks fan. It's so tough at the moment. We couldn't win a Curry Cup match. We couldn't win. We just can't. I don't know what it is.
We've got such good
all
players.
The players.
All the
We've
players.
got basically. I saw a thing literally just before we were coming on here. Thomas du Toit might be going to the Sharks. I'm like, that's like,
how many more players do you want?
Yeah.
Just give him a green jersey and move on.
Yeah, just change the name. Like, yeah, it's wild, but yeah, we just can't. Yeah, we just can't seem to win. I don't know what it is, but yeah.
We also had two postponed games. Connacht and Edinburgh Connacht didn't play Scarlets and Edinburgh didn't play Ulster. They were both. The Benetton-Glasgow game. Wow.
I didn't watch it. It's good.
Wow. Watch it. Even if you just watch the highlights. Great game. Yeah. And a fantastic win for Benetton. Great on them. Bulls Leinster. Leinster's now started the season 0-2, which is... But they did play South African opposition, the two best South African opposition. So, take it with a grain of salt, I'd say.
They'll have the Sharks soon and they can get their first win.
Well, fuck. Munster beat Cardiff, a good game. And then Zebre beat the Lions, which for me... there's so much to say there, but I'll just say two things. One, Zebre shouldn't be beating anybody. So very, very sad for the Lions to lose that game. But what's even more annoying is that the Lions once again lost it just before the horn, just before the final hooter. I don't know. Maybe they need to extend practice 4 minutes, and Oaks need to run an additional 4 minutes at the end of each training, just so that when that hooter comes about, we know what the fuck's going on. Because this is too many games in a row where they lose it at the end.
I woke up because that game was on at like 1:40 on a Monday morning for me, so I didn't watch it. But I woke up and I checked the score, and I was like, surely not. And I was like, I refreshed the app because I thought something was wrong.
Chad, it was such a frustrating game to watch because we had countless opportunities and we just made too many mistakes. And what I thought was interesting is I thought that the Zebra forwards actually outmuscled the Lions forwards, which is not a good thing to see if you're a South African supporter because we love our forwards. But I don't know. I hope they can fix it. They did start on tour, which can be challenging to start the season away from home. But as you know, we'll see what happens. We've got to play Benetton next week, which I don't think is going to go well, considering Benetton's probably playing some of their best rugby. So we'll see what happens. I mean, they beat Glasgow. I can't imagine that they would lose to the Lions. So Lions might start 0-3 for the season, which is rough.
I'm looking at the fixtures for next week. There's the Stormers game will be a good one to watch. Leinster's going to get their first win. Oh my god, the betting odds. Do you want to know the betting odds for that game? Leinster's paying nothing. You basically won't make any money on them. The Sharks to win, $21. So for every $1 you put down, you get 20 back.
Worth it. You know, who doesn't go to the Aviva Stadium and beat Leinster at home?
With a team that hasn't won, that's got thrashed by Glasgow and drew to the Dragons.
Oh, that's crazy. Surely. There's no South African teams at home next week.
Yeah, that we all away. I think the week after is when it's all back for us. Week 4.
No, not for the Bulls.
Week 4 we've got the Lions and the Sharks.
Yeah, Lions play 3 games away from home, and I think they're going to lose all 3. And then they got to play in an empty Ellis Park.
I wonder what they'll ever do with that because, I understand Iconic Stadium. It's just in such a cuck spot. Like, it's terrible to go and watch rugby there.
It needs to. It's not the stadium's fine. It's the area around it. They need to make getting in and out of whatever you want to call it. I still call it Ellis Park. That's what it is to me, and will always be Ellis Park to me.
It is Ellis Park, yeah.
Getting in and out of Ellis Park is what needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
Too complicated. It's too dangerous. It's too expensive.
Yeah.
That should be the main focus. Because if you can make access to Ellis Park easier, tickets are already dirt cheap. So you'll be able to get people to come. You just got to make it easier for them to come. South Africa.
I was watching Rassie Erasmus on his Rassie Plus thing, and he was talking about when he was coaching the
I saw that.
The Cheetahs, and then he went to the army base and got all the Oaks, and then went to the school and had them such screaming defense and attack on the other side.
Yeah, just to get the vibe going.
Getting people.
Because he said they were playing boring rugby. They were playing a kicking game. No one wanted to watch them. But he got the crowd there. They started winning and, went on from there.
And then they won a Currie Cup after that. That was in 2007. Fun fact, every single year that the Cheetahs have won a Currie Cup, the Springboks have gone on to win the Rugby Championship. I mean, the Rugby World Cup.
So now we just got to hope that Frans Steyn can coach the Cheetahs to a Currie Cup in 2 years' time. Come on, Francie.
I'll reach out to old Bumper and be like, Mike, sort me out with a Free State jersey for the Currie Cup. I'll paint my house orange.
Oh, God. Can you imagine? But I remember the days of the Cats.
Yeah.
It was such a hard team to scream for at the stadium because at least like Lions, there's more than one syllable. But when you're in the stadium and you're going, Cats! It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Rugby. What a sport. Do you mind if I switch gears for half a second to talk about 3 other competitions ongoing this weekend or this week?
I'm all ears.
So we've got, after the major fuck up, Bafana Bafana have their final World Cup qualifiers matches this upcoming international break for football. So Benin is now top of the log instead of us, but we're even on points.
Yeah, nice.
I believe we play Zimbabwe on Friday, and then we play Rwanda after that. And I believe Benin's remaining games are Rwanda and Nigeria. And the three teams that can qualify are Benin, Bafana, and Nigeria. So I can't believe we messed up and lost those points. The board should be super embarrassed, or the team selectors, or whoever's job it was, to keep track of who's suspended and who's not suspended. Embarrassing. But we're here. Yeah. Win these last two games. Let's qualify. Let's figure it out. Let's still make it happen. We're on Bafana Bafana side. Next off-topic one is the Under-20 Soccer World Cup is going on right now. Bafana Bafana, or Amajita, I believe they're called, the Under-20 side. 1-2, lost one. So our group ended with 3 teams on 6 points. But they did qualify for the round of 16. So tomorrow, 9:30 my time, South Africa are playing Colombia in the round of 16.
I'm literally looking it up as we speak. Right now. I didn't even know it was on.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. I'm going to get the name of the country wrong, but we beat the US, we beat New Caledonia, and we lost to France. Poor France didn't even make it through, and they also had 6 points. It was the US, us, and France all on 6, but because of goal difference, the US qualified on top and we qualified second. France in third.
Yeah, wow.
So yeah, we play Colombia tomorrow in the round of 16. So let's see where that goes. And then the last one.
I need to find out how to watch that one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can't help you there. I have no idea what.
Last one.
Check with Women's Cricket World Cup's ongoing.
Yeah. And also, didn't know it was even on.
Well, let me tell you. You glad you didn't know it was on during our first game, because we played England in our opener, and it was a bit of a shocker. England bowled us out.
Can I guess?
Go. Okay. This would be, at least from what I know, some of the worst score I've ever seen.
Oh,
go ahead and tell me what you think England bowled us out for.
By what you're saying, I'm going to say less than 100.
Less than 100? More than 50?
More than 50. Can I say something comical that goes 69?
It's exactly 69.
No,
it's 69.
That's amazing. I'm a genius.
They bowled us out. It took 20.4 overs. We hit 69.
20 overs to get 69 runs?
Then England took 14.1 overs to hit 73, and they won by 10 wickets.
Okay.
But then we played against New Zealand yesterday.
Yeah.
And we won by 6 wickets with 55 balls remaining. We bowled New Zealand out for 231, and we were 234 for 4 after 40.5 overs. Won the game.
Wow.
But
well done, girls.
Someone deserves a special shout out, and her name is Tazmin Brits.
Yeah.
She hit 101 of 89 balls against New Zealand. And in her last 5 games, it was the England game that messed it up for her. In her last 5 games, she's hit 4 centuries.
What?
Also, one of the first players to do 5 centuries in 1 calendar year. The century against New Zealand was her 5th one this year.
Done.
Tazmin Brits. Special shout out to Tazmin Brits.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she watches the pod too. If she doesn't, she will now. We'll tag her.
Yeah, someone tag Tazmin and let her know we're giving her a special shout out on a rugby podcast.
Yeah.
But Bangladesh are playing England now in the Women's World Cup. So we'll see what happens. At least we've got some fun rugby on. I mean, some fun sports on. There's cricket, there's soccer, and we've got the URC. So lots of South African support going out there. Chad, Rugby Championship's come to an end. We've got the international friendlies coming up. The Boks will be back with their club teams for a few weeks before we meet up again for the internationals. Any final comments from you?
No, I think on next week's pod, I want to talk about the Springboks rotating their squads and stuff like that, because obviously there's no Bok game to talk on, but I still want to talk about the Boks. So I want to talk about that type of stuff. And if there's
I think I
anything
need to get a
else,
Lions jersey for next week.
I've got one. I've got my Craven Week one, but I've never bought another one.
You got Sharks jerseys though, right?
Yeah, I've got some very small ones that if I put them on, I'd look like a Spice Girl. But I bought one from Bumfa, and I've got one from long ago. But yeah,
Another special shout out to Bumfa Vintage.
another one. Big fan.
If you need your jerseys.
Yeah, I am keen to get a Lions away jersey. I quite like it. I know it's a bit controversial.
It looked weird on the field this weekend against Zebra, because Zebra had the yellow uniforms or outfits, jerseys, uniforms. Sounded so formal. Outfits. But it did look a bit strange to see it on the field, but I still like it. I'm still a fan of the Lions away jersey.
Yeah, same. I'm keen to get one.
No, I got to see what their delivery thing might be to the Netherlands, but I'll figure that out. Okay, well, we can talk about that next week. Don't forget to tag Tazmin Brits if you know in the pod. Like, subscribe, I don't know, all the things. Just do them. Follow us on all the stuff. Episode number 10, this one, Chad. So congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. I can't believe.
Yeah, that's nearly 10 hours you've spoken to me. That's far too many hours.
It is. It is too many, and that's not including the one where we tried to live stream it. That one didn't even make it to the air. It's recorded. I've got it.
Yeah, but you know what that could be? You can keep that for like a blooper reel for us to watch back when we do episode 100.
Oh, that's good value, that one.
I don't even know if I want to do 100 episodes with you. I'll probably murder you before we get there.
We'll figure it out. If we've done 10 already, it doesn't feel like we've done 10, but who knows?
10 more than I ever thought we would do. So if someone's actually watched from episode 1 till now, first off, sorry for wasting your time. Second off, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. If we could send you money, we would.
We got to start making some first.
Yeah, we'll pay you to watch our podcast.
Chad, thank you again. Great to be back-to-back champions. The Boks are just winning everything at the moment. It's great to watch and just keep supporting. It's fantastic. Good old Sia.
Sia and Rusty, yeah.
All right, Chad.
All right.
Everybody, thank you. Goodbye.